Hey everybody. Hey everyone. I want to show you my bike today. It's a Baumtrack Outlaw. Baumtrack is a German company, and I bought this bike online at my bike shop because I didn't see any dealers in the area. But recently, actually, I moved to a new apartment, and there's literally a tiny bike shop around the corner that sells Baumtrack. So I will get their name later. But this video is about the bike. So you can see, I'm not sure really what to call this bike. I guess you'd call it an urban commuter bike, but that doesn't really describe all the things that it can do. It's actually a really fun bike. The geometry reminds me of a road geometry, to be honest. It descends really well. It's really stable descending. It is agile, maybe a little bit less agile than a track bike, but you can still whip it around. I'm not going to get into all the serious hardcore geometry stats, but you can look it up if you're interested. So let's work our way from the top to the bottom, I guess. The saddle is a Specialized Roman. This is a saddle that I rode previously on a Tarmac that I had. And it's pretty comfy. It feels kind of like the Power saddle, except it's a little bit longer. And I like to have that extra real estate, honestly. I did enjoy the Power saddle. That's probably the only component from the Big S that I really like is their saddles. It's a good price, and they're pretty well made. They look amazing. I used to be a Physique fanboy, but moved over to Specialized. I do want to try the Shimano Pro saddle as well. The seat post is stock, actually. I did buy a Whiskey replacement seat post because I wanted a zero offset when I initially bought the bike. I bought a new seat post, and then it ended up bending right here at the clamp. It just was bent back, and that was really pretty disappointing. I thought it would be durable. Like Whiskey has a pretty good reputation. So I put the stock one back on, and moving down to the cockpit, the stock seat post with the curved pieces here kind of I think the stock seat post looks good with the kind of curved nature of the stem that I got. I feel like this stem really works with this build here. Let's see. So the stem is a Ritchey Superlogic. I'm sure some of you have heard of that one. I do work in the industry, but I like this stem so much that I paid full price for it because it was out of stock from our dealers. It has an interesting design. It's a little bit thicker than a regular stem. It pretty much carries the same thickness as the steer tube all the way to the handlebar. and it looks pretty badass. You could say I'm compensating for something, but the fit is actually very comfortable. It fits very natural for me. This is the extra large frame, I believe. Yes. So it's extra large frame. Let's get lighting here. Sorry, this is a bootleg video, guys. Production quality is not great. And the bike is filthy, man. I swear, I keep this bike super clean, but it's the middle of winter and this is what it looks like, so I'm sorry. Stay tuned for me cleaning this bike. Usually I don't put stickers on my bikes, but my friend makes these stickers. It actually used to have an E right here. It was OPE. If you're from the Midwest, you know what that's about. So let's get back on track here. We're on the cockpit. The bars are stock as well. I like the stock bars. It's the whole character of the bike. It's kind of just an urban road bike with mountain bike controls and handling. The Y bars are really nice for getting some good acceleration, and they give you a lot more confidence when you're riding off-road. I'm not sure what the width is. I never cut them, but they are, they do look proportional to the bike, I would say. So if I was getting a smaller frame, I might cut them a little bit. And I might cut them just to change the aesthetic, I don't know. Play around with it. Brake levers are stock. These look similar to Shimano Dior levers. This is the 2018, I believe, so this is a few years old now. But the current model, why can't I get this to focus? The current model of these brakes has a little bit tighter look. I think the master cylinder here is actually in contact with the bar, so it's a lot stiffer. But I really have no problem with these brakes. Hydraulic disc brakes. Shimano uses mineral oil for the hydraulic fluid. They stop really well for what this bike is. I mean, it stops on a dime. Like when I'm riding with people who are running rim brakes, they get annoyed because I just like wait so late into the corner to start braking. So yeah, hydros give you a lot more control, for sure. The grips are Ergon. I did change these out from the stock grips. It's a little bit thinner here. It's a little bit thinner here, so it's a very comfortable grip. I wish it was a little bit longer. Maybe they make extra long ones, I don't know. I like to have my brakes a little bit far from the grip, so you just have room. A lot of people put their brakes right here, But if you look at it naturally, you want your brakes to be out of the way here. You want to be able to just, you can reach out and touch them whenever you want. They're there, but they're not in the way. And I like that. This lever actually broke a little bit when I crashed. This one is how it's supposed to be. But it's fine. Still works. Headset is stock. There's no reason to change that, honestly, unless for bling factor. The headset is probably the most, has the easiest life of any bearing on the bike, or any bearing on almost anything that's mechanical. All it does is turn back and forth 25 degrees, 30 degrees. Unless you're like a BMX rider, you probably mess your headset up. Fork is stock. I'm pretty sure it's aluminum. Although at one point I thought this was a carbon blade and aluminum crown, but I think it's all aluminum. That's one thing I did want to change to carbon, just to get a little bit more performance. And I don't like how you can see from the front, you can see that it's not a solid crown. So, I don't know. This kind of takes away from the aesthetic a little bit for me. But the shape of the fork is good. And I think it goes with the bike quite well. The drivetrain is customized a little bit. It's a Gates CDX. It's actually the CDN crank here, square taper. It works really nice. I like square taper bottom brackets or cranks. It feels like well, if you look at it compared to one of those cranks that has the spindle is connected to the drive crank, and the left side crank connects to that. That part has unequal stress applied to it, so those tend to start creaking after a while. Not all of them, but it is more susceptible to it. But the square taper has each crank mounted symmetrically on the spindle, so that's there's nothing wrong with square taper, although I did think about changing it to external bearings, just to modernize it, but why? It's fine. It works. But I did change the chain ring, or whatever Gates calls it. They call it something else. It actually came stock with the CDN model Gates. Same amount of teeth and everything, but it's actually made of plastic or nylon. Glass impregnated nylon, I believe, which is very strong material, but they had to use more material here, so it looked thicker. This one's more low profile as the aluminum, and I just think, why not have aluminum chainring? Why have a plastic chainring? And I did change the belt too. They make two belts. They make a CDN belt for the plastic chainring, and they make this belt, which is definitely tougher. I've definitely gotten more miles on this one. I actually broke the last belt, and that's what prompted me to change the chainring and the belt. The cog, I never changed the cog or the sprocket in the back. It's stainless steel, 20 teeth. I like the ratio. I wish it was a little bit faster, honestly. I wish it was a little bit harder. I ride in a pretty flat area and it's great because off-road it's a little bit too hard, and on-road it's a little bit too easy, so it's kind of a good ratio. So I do a little bit of mountain biking, cross-country mountain biking on this, which is, and I know it probably sounds ridiculous, but that's a good workout. Gravel is so fun on this. And really well-maintained mountain bike paths are very fun too. So, yeah, the belt drive is great. It's completely quiet. You just like sneak up on people when you're riding in a group. It's hilarious. And zero maintenance. Literally the only maintenance you would do is probably soap and water for aesthetics on the top of it, because there's dirt gets in these grooves, and then water on the chainring. Literally, if you're riding, you can get your water bottle and spray some water on it, and the water actually helps clear out the dirt that gets in there, and you're good. Basically, that's all you need. Definitely don't put oil on it. And it's nice. I hate carpet, but my apartment has carpet, and it's just nice keeping your bike inside. It has no oil on it whatsoever. Sliding dropout, kind of like a track bike. I like track bikes. I've ridden a lot of track bikes, and this is like my dirty off-road track bike, I guess. Pedals are Crank Brothers Egg Beaters. This is the bottom tier pedal, but the aesthetic, the blackened metal look here goes great with the bike. None of the other, even the higher end ones, like, just don't look as clean on the bike, to be honest. Sometimes you just gotta spend too much on parts, and sometimes you gotta spend less on parts just for the aesthetic. I think it's all tied together pretty well. I'd say this bike is dialed in. It fits me. I've put in miles on it, a lot. And it's coming into its own. Me and the bike are becoming one, and it's a really good time. Can't wait for the weather to get a bit nicer. I'm usually a little bit light on the riding around the holiday season, but then I realize I'm getting fat and I gotta start getting back on the bike. So we're coming close to that time. I'm getting stoked on my bike again. These are the Ultra Dynamico Cava Race. So it's a very light casing. It's a light tire. It's a very supple tire. On the road, you want to pump it up like 50. 50 feels pretty hard. 50 feels like 100 in a 25 if you've been riding road bikes or track bikes. It feels like 90 in a 25. How about that? Obviously, I don't run caps on my valves. I want to say this now on this video because I'm tired of watching people run valves on their caps on their valves. It's totally unnecessary. All it does is slow down pumping up the tire when you have to pump up the tire. And it's nice to be able to just drop a little air when you're on the trail. Why are you playing around with a little cap, dude? Come on, guys. The tread is interesting. It's definitely like just an aesthetic tread. They didn't try to say very scientific, but apparently this gives you less rolling resistance in the middle. On the side, it's like it's like a diamond file tread, which is fun. It's a little bit different. You can see, interestingly, in the tread, these files are horizontally linked, but not vertically linked. So it's kind of like a Sherp tire in a way. So moving forward and backward, it grips the stuff forward and backward, and then side to side, it has strength to it. And so when you're getting that lateral load in a corner, it has stability, which is interesting. They put a little bit of thought into it, even though it's like a party brand tire. It's a cool tire. The funny thing about these tires is that I got a flat on them the first day I put them on. And that was just a buzzkill because I was waiting. I was so stoked on getting these tires. I think they look good on the bike. Black tires do look sick on the bike as well. But the Ultra Dynamicos is like, I'm all about that culture, man. Ron's a pretty cool guy. Nam's a pretty cool chick. They sent me a postcard actually when I bought the tires. Here we go. So that's Nam riding in the middle of nowhere. Gravel, of course. Hashtag gravel bike. That looks like a fun time. And look at that handwriting, guys. Look at that. That smiley face though looks a little bit drunk. That's cool, dude. They wrote my name. Everyone loves to hear their name. Right? So yeah, I love these tires. They're produced by Panaracer, so that explains why I got the flat. When running the Panaracer T-Serves in the past, I used to run those on my road bike. Those tires are amazing. The grip is insane on the Panaracer T-Serve. It's nice, but they have absolutely no flat protection, and that is part of the point of the tire. It's a sacrifice. You have to watch out for glass. But I think that pretty much covers it, guys. Thanks for watching this. I think I got every detail on this bike that I wanted to talk about. I just wanted to put that all in one place here. I'm sure there's more nuances I could go into. But if you're considering buying this bike, I think you should. It's really fun, all-rounder. This is my only bike right now. I used to have like 4 bikes. But I moved and life changes, and having one bike makes it easy to maintain and easy to jump right back into the hobby. You don't have to be like, oh, which bike am I gonna ride? You just say, hey, I'm gonna go on a bike ride. I might go off-road a little bit, but I'm still gonna be fast as hell on the streets. It's cool. I haven't seen many videos like really going in depth on this bike online, so I hope you guys enjoy it. Peace.